everyone. We have the pleasure to talk to Nadiia Bashynska and Peter Beaumont, who started skating together in 2017. They made their international debut in 2018, and since then won bronze at the 2019 Junior Grand Prix in Chelyabinsk, and subsequently were fourth in Zagreb and on the national level, won the Canadian Novice title and silver at the 2020 Canadian Junior National Championships. And recently, they were just at Skate Canada's NextGen camp, where we saw their awesome new programs. So, how are you today?
We're doing really good.
Doing good. Keep living the life of training.
Yep.
That's good. So such a pleasure to have you, and we're so excited to talk. And a happy late birthday to Peter. Your birthday was on Saturday, correct?
Yes, it was. I mean, having the birthday in quarantine, as everyone probably knows, is it's not ideal for everyone, but I mean, you make the most of it, and had a great time. Yeah,
my birthday was in the beginning of July, so I definitely know the vibe of the quarantine birthday. So how has your summer been so far? We're kind of getting to the end of it. Are things ramping up more, or are you still in that summer mode?
I don't know. The summer didn't really start for me. I don't know where it went, but it's not here. And I'm kind of I just finished summer school. Just today. Today was my last day, and I think now I'm gonna try and experience a bit of summer, hopefully, if that will happen. But
get outside.
Yeah, for skating, I think summer camp, if we can call that, it's been amazing. We love summer skating because it's always fun to have your friends around for longer than just 2 sessions. Yeah. But we haven't been able to do as much because of lockdown and quarantine and everything, but we do as much as we can.
Yeah, I was just going to say, in terms of sort of where we are in the season, summer is probably the time where you want to get most feedback, and that's where we're sort of doing the changes and starting to
ramp for skating.
Sort of ramping up on the run-throughs and stuff.
Yeah, it's just kind of the beginning for skating. It's very fresh and everything is very new. So if we need to make any significant changes, that would be done right now.
Yeah, you two are already looking so good. We had a lovely time seeing your rhythm dance. It was awesome for us to see. So let's kind of go into when you first started partnering up. So you partner up in 2017, you enter the novice level in Canadian ice dance, and you win your title at your first nationals. Tell us a little bit about that. How did that feel?
It feels like it was forever ago. Honestly, I think that whole season was just a little bit of, it was kind of crazy. And I don't know if I really experienced that because it just flew by,
Well, because there was a lot of getting to know each other, because I mean we're both from different backgrounds, both being Ukrainian and British, and both different, it's not just different countries at the end of the day, it's different cultures, and we were still getting to know each other, and yet getting to know each other off ice, on ice, and in all.
I was still learning how to speak English, so it was a process,
All us, so, I mean.
I gotta agree with you, and plus, we started living together right away, which was kind of, it was different for both of us. Never done that before, and we were just so, at that age, I was 13, you were?
I just turned 16.
So we were so committed, to skating, and we both had a goal. We started skating knowing that we want to win. That's it. That was a goal, and we did it. So that was,
Yeah, I think what helped us that first season was that we both had the same goal.
Yeah, and motivation, to skate.
Yeah, we sort of took it on, we both had different ideas, and we didn't quite understand how each other worked. So that was, if we had the one goal of, we want to win nationals, that was sort of what we both put our minds to together, and that's ultimately what happened, which was good. Really fortunate and lucky to have that.
I mean, nationals was it's really different in Ukraine. For me, competing in Ukraine was really different to competing in Canada, and just the way we actually had people interested in, they wanted to talk to us, and they came up to us and said, oh my God, I love your program. And I was like, what is this? Okay, what is this?
Sort of because we came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Nobody had seen us come up through the ranks in June.
It's just kind of, yeah.
So we were just here, and then we were nationals, and people were like,
oh, who are they? Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, so you both were, Nadiia, you were born in Ukraine, Peter in England, and I read about why you kind of chose to go down the route of representing Canada, and congratulations to Nadiia and the citizenship. So recently I've been noticing that a lot of Ukrainian skaters are changing federations, like in the US, with pair skaters, Anastasia Smirnova, and a partner, Yaroslav single skater. The list kind of goes on with many Ukrainian skaters switching federations. So there's so much talent in Ukraine, and I'd kind of love to hear your thoughts on why this is happening, the infrastructure of the Ukrainian Federation, and yeah, I mean, there's just so much talent, and it's seriously like striking to see that many skaters change feds.
Yeah, I've had, most of my friends back in Ukraine are either, they quit and they moved on with other things in their life, or they are in completely different countries, skating with different partners, or sorry, guys. But yeah, I have my friend Dennis Strikalin. He is right now in France, representing France, and same thing as in America. My friend Yegorov, he's with Molly Kesnick, and they're awesome. I love them.
Yeah.
And seeing them again at competitions, which we haven't, for the past year, but beforehand, it's really amazing, and really seeing how far they came and how much more happier they are, because they always feel there's more opportunities.
Yeah.
Saying anything about Ukrainian Federation is actually awesome. Like, I had a great time in Ukraine when I was there, but there's just so much more opportunities here.
Yeah, for sure. So back to that year when you won your novice title. So I want to note that the 3 teams that won the dance titles that year all have since won junior world titles, Tessa and Scott, and Marjorie and Zach. So maybe a world junior title is in the cards for you. So after you do that, you're about a month after, you jet off to Italy for the ECMO Trophy for your international debut, and you win the silver. So how is that? You've gone from kind of your first partnership, and you've already achieved these 2 medals at your first competitions.
Well, I think what a lot of people don't actually know is that wasn't like, well, we both had careers before we started skating with each other, like with different partners.
International debut together.
Yeah, together. It was our first international together, but because we'd already competed internationally separately, I think we both had sort of a bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? We'd already had experience in different countries.
Yeah, it was not as stressful. Yeah, it was definitely, if it would be a brand new team that never competed abroad, it would be very stressful. But for us, it was more like, hey, we're having fun. I mean, Peter's dad came over. And it was Italy. Like, I've never been there. It was more like an experience. And that's what I think about most of junior Grand Prix or international competitions. Go there for the whole experience and meeting new people and, seeing the new places. It's not just the competition, but competition is the main highlight.
Yeah, I think as Nadiia said, and we both had experience beforehand, and I think when we did skate there, we basically did what we did in training.
Yeah.
Put the training in, do it, and ultimately that's what got us that silver medal.
Yeah. And we saw, one thing I can say that we saw that we got to push it now, because there's other people out there. It's not just us in this whole little world.
We watched the junior and senior events after our skates, and so that was
inspiring.
Right, this is what we want to be. This is where we want to sort of be at next year.
Yeah, the goal. Yeah.
Do you guys like to watch skating and watch your competitors and watch like people above you, or are you not about that?
One of those where I like to watch the top senior groups in in like my spare time, just like if even not even from like now, so like sort of maybe 10 years ago, and I'll look at little bits of inspiration of like choreo or whatever. And I'll say to Ned, like in the practices in the morning, I'll be like, let's sort of try this on or try this. But yeah, I think we both like watching skating as it's happening. Yeah, we both like, once we've had the competition, we don't like to watch each our program straight away.
No.
So to give, like sort of let the air clear and then sort of watch it a couple of days after and then sort of pick on little bits.
Yeah, you're definitely you watch way more skating than I do. If it comes to competitions when they're happening, I like to watch them. But you know, I don't know why I find it stressful watching competitions or like.
I understand. Yeah, I feel the exact same. I don't want to watch myself after. I have to wait a little bit and like wait for like my emotions to settle. Do you have like Peter, do you have like a favorite competition you like to watch from the past or favorite like season?
There's not really a particular one. It can just
whatever pops up
on my YouTube suggested. But it's usually like the last group's free dance. So like
seniors, more seniors. Yeah. Not. I don't know what we're gonna do when we're gonna move to seniors. We're gonna watch it.
Can watch exhibitions.
Exhibitions. There you go.
Yeah. So like Cece mentioned, Cece asked about, kind of traveling and competing internationally. So I want to know more about, you had all that momentum from novice nationals and you moved up to juniors. And I kind of want to know what that experience was like, especially because I feel like as skaters representing a new country, it is kind of shocking and surprising and a very happy moment to win such a big competition. Your first year together. So yeah, tell us a little bit about that shift up to juniors.
Well, I think between having won novice and our first Grand Prix, we had a lot of monitoring and a lot of feedback from like judges, and we had the bits of sort of experience because back then all like the junior teams that are now in senior were still in junior at that time. So we sort of saw what the top juniors were and us that had just started junior.
Yeah,
we sort of saw the differences, and I think that actually helped with having the camps. Well, especially here in Canada, having the camps where you get to see all your other competitors is really a good opportunity for us to sort of
see who we have to line up with. It was almost like setting up a huge how would you say
it gives you a bar.
So you have to like match it. There's no other way. Like you can't, if you want to be on the top, you have to do this. And I think that year for us was actually quite challenging. I gotta say we had to, it was a lot of growing together. And
that's why we started having changes.
Yeah, you don't go, we lived together and we spent a lot of time together, and that year was actually, stressful for both of us, more, finding,
the first year was it
flew by. Yeah, it flew by.
The second year was sort of, you're not going to win everything, or you're not going to reach the podium. So that was a sort of,
we had to realize
that. But then again, it's part of and together as a team.
And getting to know each other much more, just beyond. And I started, I was able to express my feelings a little bit more, which is not always the best thing, but it was some arguments. But I think they helped us to realize what each other's like. And I don't believe that every team doesn't go without arguing. Everybody argues and it's absolutely normal, but it's knowing how to solve those problems and how to avoid them in future. So I think that year was really educational for both of us, just like getting to know each other in that way. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. Really great communication here. Using those good communication skills you talked about. So now you've competed on the Junior Grand Prix, you've gone to Junior Nationals, really exciting, and now you're moving into the 2019-2020 season. What were your and your coach's thoughts about that season as you went into it, as you're thinking about it, and kind of this time, your goals, your program, stuff like that?
Well, so we'd had our first season of junior, we'd had sort of a rocky start in terms of we'd had one good skate and one terrible skate. We never sort of had a level playing field. It was always like this as a season as a whole. And so I think what we had going into the next season from that was skate clean. And even when we started making choreography for that season, it sort of started at sort of the basics,
very basic,
not too hard, but also not too novice. And once we managed to sort of get the skates clean, that's when we sort of thought, right, let's change choreo and sort of, let's spice it up a little bit. And that's just sort of how we built on the season from before, because we went straight in with all the difficult stuff and we couldn't quite handle it. And so we just
and I gotta say that season we had so much motivation. I would say we were so like, get to the work every day. I don't know what got into us that year.
We sort of tried too hard.
But afterwards we were working so hard. And then when we came back to monitorings and competitions in summer, that was the Kick and Eye program and the Oprah free dance. We made an impression that we improved, which was awesome. And winning Lake Placid.
Well, it was
Minto, and then Lake Placid. All those things where we realized that yes, we're capable of this. So now you gotta push even more. And I honestly,
and I think I mean, when I say the choreography was easier, I don't mean it was easier. I mean it was sort of, we had more input into it. So the coaches, they didn't do the choreo for us, like maybe they hadn't done the year before when we just moved up from novice. But we sort of had our own input, and I think that's what sort of the path that we sort of stuck to even now. Where even when our coaches, Carol and Uris, are choreographing, we always sort of add on something afterwards, and they're like, "Oh, we want to keep that
for sure."
And so when we did the King and I and stuff, we had a lot of. We watched the movie, we sort of felt it in us, and we did our own sort of thing. And that's what ultimately, gave it a bit more feel, and that's what we had from like feedback, and we're really happy with how it went that season.
I also gotta say that maybe the Tea Time Foxtrot being so new to everybody, especially and to us as well, it's more getting to know that program and concentrating less on we want to be the best. Right? We were concentrating on how to make Foxtrot look good, because that was the hard part, to make it look good.
Because everyone was in the same boat.
Yeah, everybody struggled with that, but it was actually a fun dance to do. And I'm glad we got to do that dance for 2 years instead of any other dance. But
that's good. That's good you liked it.
Yeah.
You talked a little.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can go.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, you talked a little bit about how like that year you were able to kind of contribute more to the creative process. Is that something you initiated, or something that that Carol Lane really likes to work with her students?
It just kind of happened.
It kind of
just happened, yeah.
Because the time before we didn't. I think it was sort of us growing up as a team. When we sort of,
maturity.
Yeah, we sort of like matured in that stage, and when like we sort of understand Uris and Carol's minds, when they see a piece, we sort of add something to it.
Add our own interpretation of their thoughts, I'd say.
Okay.
We can sort of make a compromise, and
skating in Ice Dance Elite at Scarborough Figure Skating Club honestly has been, to me, coming from Ukraine, always skating in one place. I've seen a lot of skaters before, but coming to Ice Dance Elite, seeing Piper and Paul, I was like, what is this? Am I dreaming? This must be like, this is a joke. This is not real. Skating on the same ice, really, I realized that this is the level of world champions, the Olympic level.
Yeah.
And every day, honestly, Piper and Paul, as well as our coaches, Caroline, Uris Rasclives, John Lane, and Marc Andre Savant, they have been inspiring us. And like we said, they all contribute into our programs, but Peter and I are what make the program, because we are the skaters. We gotta skate that program and perform it. So it's really up to us. If we don't feel comfortable doing something, we'll switch it up to our comfort. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely to hear. And yeah, I mean, it's awesome that you two are like conscious that you can be at that level, that highest level. I'm sure that when you move to seniors, you're going to, conceptualize the fact that you can be at that top level. And I'm, at your rink, I'm sure it was really exciting when Piper and Paul won bronze at Worlds. So what was the mood in the rink that day when they won that medal? Was everyone super excited?
Celebration. It was
yeah.
So we sort of came back because it was over the weekend, I think.
Yeah.
Well, we came back anyways, and they sort of had their week off. They were sort of living life. We've just won a medal.
Yeah, probably felt surreal.
Yeah, and so but what's good is about when we watch them perform. Like as I said, with going back to me watching like performances, it gives you that sort of kick that you want to be like, I want to do that. Why can't I, sort of skate as well as that? And and then when
I think they motivated everybody.
If you don't take motivation out of it, then it's not. It doesn't feel right.
Yeah. No, but they were amazing. Goosebumps all the way, like watching them. Oh, incredible. And every time, before they left to Worlds, we all would stop and watch their free dance and make sure, okay, it's coming, I can feel it. And, our coaches crying, everybody's left speechless, and we're just like, okay, can I go home now? Enough.
That's awesome. So I have a question for Peter. So you have some of the most intricate costumes of men in junior ice dance, and it's lovely to see both partners matched extremely well aesthetically, costume-wise, and it makes for a much nicer performance. So what do you think about when you're thinking about your looks and costumes for the season? Because Tiffany Zagorski had mentioned how her red hair clashes with her costume. So is that something you're like conscious about when picking out costumes?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't first think about hair color, but I do say I am very picky with costumes.
Okay.
So there are a few like rules that I would have because Nadia's mom's friend makes our costumes.
Oh,
We have a seamstress in Ukraine. Yes.
Wow. Oh, that's sick. That's awesome.
Got the plug.
Yeah. And she makes costumes as well. Sorry, a little information, but she makes costumes for Caro and Shane.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Most of our club except Piper and Paul.
But yeah, so back to the topic.
Yeah.
Back to you.
So yeah, we watched I think for the first year when we did Novice, it wasn't the sort of year for thinking about flamboyant costumes. We had the costumes within a couple of weeks. But for the next year when we did what was it? Cinderella and the Carmen. I can't remember. But yeah, the costumes for that, because I'm not one for just wearing the same sort of stuff like t-shirts. Because you see a lot of guys that just wear t-shirts or a shirt, and so what we always thought was you want something that interprets the music, but it's not like feathers everywhere or too flamboyant. And I think we had with both the short and the free with those costumes were very contemporary, suited the music, and
Tell the character.
They told the character of the story. And I think the first one that was really in your face was The King and I.
Yeah, it was hard for you. I remember it was like, wow, I've never worn anything like this before.
Yeah, because it was one of those costumes that had multiple pieces to put on. So it was like,
oh wow.
The vest or something. But it was one of those. I'm very picky with how stuff looks. So for me, just a classic tie and like waistcoat like for this year's show is my perfect one. But once I was wearing it and you saw people's reactions, I was like, actually, this is right. We sort of got something right with this costume.
They called the character.
That's the main part of with costumes.
Your costumes,
it has to tell a character, even though it's only adds to about 20% of the program. If you see a couple on training without a costume and then do the program with the costume, it sort of finishes it off. And so I think that year for us especially with the King and I was the sort of eye opener when people sort of went, oh, your costume really goes with music.
Yeah.
And it's I don't like to say helped us massively, but it's one of those, it just put the icing and cherry on top of the cake.
It just looks nice. It just looks nice when like aesthetically everyone's matching, everyone's wearing the same thing, same vibe. It just looks good. And you know, maybe it might have helped, but we'll never know.
Well, I also just want to add as well, something probably nobody knows is the seamstress that makes our costumes has never seen me in real life.
Yeah, no.
Oh wow.
She's never seen me, never measured me. Maddie's mum measures me and then sends the measurements over.
Yeah.
And she makes the costumes based off those measurements.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It is. Like it's a whole system with me translating and I'm sending the videos over and everything, but it works. Hey, it works. It gets the costumes done.
Does Peter know a little bit of Ukrainian as you know, no, okay.
He knows Russian.
I think he knows Russian, okay.
Give us something. Like say
hello.
You say hello.
I could say привет.
Yeah, okay.
Very good, very good.
Good.
Yeah, your favorite word.
No.
Say it. It's not bad. Say it.
No, it's stupid.
No, it's not stupid. It's funny. Do it.
No, man, I'm not saying what lawnmower is in Russian.
It's a lawn. Yeah. Because once, I don't know why, it was out of nowhere, just out of the blue. He was like, "What is this word?" Like, feel good? And I was like, "That's a lawn, like lawnmower."
Lawnmower, yeah. Because I was, it's a silly story. I was just taking the lawnmower for a service with Nadia's dad, and he's like, "What's it called?" Like, lawnmower, and he's like, "Oh no, it's not." But anyways, that's
the
weird
stories.
No, that's awesome to hear. But well, I hope you two can visit Ukraine together one day. Peter can meet the seamstress.
Yeah.
So you had that momentum from the 2019-2020 season. I'd say, from competing on the Junior Grand Prix circuit, winning that bronze and being fourth at your second Junior Grand Prix. And with COVID, your junior season in the fall of 2020 was canceled, and nationals are in doubt, and Skate Canada announced that Skate Canada Challenge would be happening. So how did you prepare for that in order to get what looked like your only feedback for that season?
It's a hard one because that whole year, personally for me, was really hard.
Yeah.
And it was a blur. But like some people found it relaxing, like it was a year off.
Yeah.
But I think both of us struggled a little bit, just mentally getting through that year because, things were really off.
Well, I think what the main thing is none of us knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, it was unpredictable.
Like at the end of the day, if there's no sort of goal to be reached, a lot of people sort of think, oh, what's the point? But we're not that type of like, oh, sort of calm it down. We're just like, we want to keep going.
Yeah, we still worked hard every day with no specific
target.
No target, but we still worked for something. There's always purpose in our training, but
and then when they did say that challenge was going to happen, we were
happy.
Over the moon,
Happy, but it was a little bit of a bummer because it was filmed.
Yeah,
I gotta say the filmed competitions do not feel like competitions. It is something else. And having this NextGen camp this year actually reminded me of really how it is to compete in real life, like how to see people, see your competitors. And it was a little bit shocking, but I missed it personally.
Yeah, as well, you can sort of interact with the audience when there's people there. Like, I mean, I like to personally sort of find someone in the audience and present to them.
Yeah.
But
having, somebody.
With nobody there, it's sort of a bit,
Yeah.
You're sort of missing that extra competition feel.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good little competition, if we can call it that.
Yeah.
But it didn't give us the exact competition feeling that we were hoping for.
Yeah.
Which is okay. You know, it was the most they could do at the time. So
yeah. I mean, it's got to be tough. Like, you know, as much as you love to skate, it's hard when you're not feeling super incentivized, when you don't have competition. But I'm glad that you kind of got to have a pseudo-ish competition, even though it was filmed. Yeah. So talk to us a little bit about NextGen Camp, because you two look phenomenal. And you had the chance to show off your programs. How long have you two been waiting to show off your new programs?
Too long.
What
I was going to say is, so when we were in last year's lockdown, or whatever, we sort of already started thinking about new programs. Even though we stayed with our original ones, we sort of had ideas. We were throwing, bits of music together and sort of trying.
Yeah, it was more brainstorming what kind of music and what kind of style we want to go for.
And so actually last year, before we started with our previous programs, we'd already thought of like sort of music for bluesers, and we'd already gone for a sort of style that we wanted. We sort of wanted the classical sort of blues, like today's called, and the sort of jazz swing second part.
Rock and roll, whatever that is.
Yeah, so that was the sort of we'd always tick that box of what we wanted to do, and then for the free we sort of kept the ideas open.
The thing is, though, the free was tricky, but we'll get to that. For the NextGen Camp, I have to say I've never been this excited. It definitely is a different kind of exciting moment for me. I changed my mindset a lot throughout lockdown, and I went from thinking, oh, I have to be perfect, I have to make sure I finish every element, to kind of thinking, oh, here, I'm gonna just show off how cool I am, or be like, oh, we're the coolest here, whatever. It might be cringy, but it works because it made us, I don't know,
it made that confidence when you've not, I know this NextGen was like our first sort of event with these programs.
Yeah.
When you know that nobody's seen them before, you sort of want to sort of put that.
You want to surprise everybody.
Keep them on edge,
yeah.
if that makes sense. Because there's people watching, There's other teams that don't know your program.
Yeah, it felt good. It felt good to show off something that you've been working on really hard, and saving up for, because I was honestly waiting until the moment where we can finally announce our programs. I couldn't wait till NextGen, because then finally we post everything, and I was like, oh, here we go. Yeah, but it was pretty good, because we had a lot of positive as well as informative feedback from judges and tech panels, and also a lot of positive things on Twitter as well as other things. But
I think we were just looking for clean programs and ones that sort of showed that we showed different styles. Because I mean, once we did the past 2 seasons with the same programs, it sort of gets a bit like, oh, this is what they can do.
Yeah, we don't want to
pull out the bag next season.
Yeah, we don't want to settle for one style. We just want to keep on pulling out new things.
And so we're really glad with how we performed.
And we're looking forward to improving the things that we've been told that we could improve in, because it's we have more purpose and even more motivation than before, which is really good all the time.
So what about the free dance then? You said you had some opinions.
Yeah, it was, this is a hard one, because we've previously had an idea with doing Alegria. So we started choreographing, we got the costumes, and then Peter and I were on the edge.
It sort of didn't click with us.
It doesn't feel right. We were skating it, and it just did not feel good. Trusting our senses, we were, for the first time ever, I was really scared saying that, but I was like, I can't do this program. We have to move on. And afterwards, it was a pretty long time brainstorming of ideas, and we were pretty lost. We didn't know what we wanted to do.
And you brought it up, actually, that we should try the Russian folk.
Yeah.
And that sort of, I mean, it was one of those, like the bits of music that you hear from Russian folk have been done before, but we've managed to get
not in this interpretation. So this actually is another tricky part for us. We found this.
Oh, you found it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Not me. My mom. My mom found this composition, but it's an original composition, but it was interpreted by Maria Lazarova, and she is a Russian violinist, and she's really, really good. But there was no what do you call it, license?
We needed to get we just found music off
YouTube, and that's not
licensed. There's no license, yeah.
So we were like, okay, we have to message her and at least try to get to her and get her approved. You know,
surprisingly,
she replied really fast, and she's
no way.
Yeah, she's really sweet. We still talk. She's amazing and super talented. And we were so over the moon that we were able to skate through her beautiful composition. Like, it was amazing because it is Katusha mixed up with Kalinka, which is
yeah.
You know, you don't usually hear those two musics together. Yeah. And it was pretty awesome that we were able to use it. And first piece is actually our coach's idea. Yeah. So our coach's idea was mixed with our idea, and it clicked pretty fast with us.
And it clicked with us mainly, and how we just kind of doing it like the skating music guy does our music.
Yeah.
And we take our hats off to him because he's made an incredible transition between all three pieces.
Yeah, you don't hear anything. It sounds seamless. It's like one song.
I managed to get the beats put in properly as well.
Yeah.
Because which song didn't have the beats?
Katusha, the beginning of the Katusha.
The beginning of it, it's all very like violining. There's not beat.
Yeah, she was improvising.
Yeah. So seamless that we've had nobody question it.
Yeah, yeah, he's awesome. Maria Lazarova is awesome. We're so thankful that we were able to, find that somebody.
Yeah, it's really cool to see how musicians kind of like engage with skaters personally. I forget the name of the artist, but the musician who Rika Kahira skated to in 2018, that classical piece, and she's in other music, and it's like really cool to see that like there's this personal relationship, which I think is like often like skaters bring a new interpretation of music, and also it's just like cool to see your work performed on ice.
Yeah.
I personally loved your free dance. I thought it was so beautiful.
It's really cool.
I loved it. I loved your spins. But so we had a lovely time seeing you too. So why don't we kind of move into more fun questions, I guess, less skating related. So Nadiia, you're an avid baker. I want to know what you do in your free time. What's your favorite thing to bake, and about your new job?
Oh my gosh, I can go on about this for days.
Please do. We just want to hear you talk about baking.
Sitting here. I can't. I was trying to think about this to myself, like, when did this start? Because to be honest, like everything else in my life, it just kind of happens. Yeah. So I can't really tell you exactly what pushed me towards this, but it's probably going to be making cakes for everybody at the rink. Everybody's birthdays. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, I always make cakes, and even when they completely fell apart, that doesn't really matter. Learning process. So I was told a few times that you should like post your stuff, because I never posted anything. I was just doing it.
Everyone was doing it on their birthday.
Yeah. So I decided, I was like, okay, might as well. I did. I baked something for Juris Vasculaev's on his birthday, and also something for Piper and Paul to send them away to Worlds. So that day I decided to start posting, and people were really supportive, and it was amazing, and I felt so good and so happy. And I always baked. I just started posting it now, so it's just out there. I love baking everything and anything. I don't like working with dough, but I'm trying to get through that. I'm not the best with dough. It just doesn't happen. But I started this, not me. It wasn't me. It was my aunt back in Ukraine. She started her vegan baking business. And she introduced me into this chocolate making, especially vegan chocolate making.
Ooh.
And at that time, we were sitting at home because
interesting.
we didn't have skating, so I didn't have anything to do. Except, but that doesn't really matter. So I was making chocolate all day long, and people really liked it on my baking stories.
I really liked it.
Liked it, yeah. And and then I was just, I was inspired by my aunt. I was inspired by people on social medias, and of course, I had a lot of support in my life. And it was just kind of like in the span of 3 weeks where I was like, okay, I'm gonna start a business. That's it. End of story. I'm starting a business because I had no work. I didn't have anything except school, and I want something in my life besides skating, and dancing, and other things that I do. But as soon as I started selling my chocolate and seeing people actually enjoy it, I decided to take this huge step and email a bunch of cafes. I'm just saying this was my technique. I just found like 50 cafes and I sent them the same email. I was like, hey, I want to offer you my chocolate. End of story. And I had one amazing woman. She called me back and she's like, hey, come over and give me your chocolate. I want to try it. So I came over, I gave her whatever I made. I also make cheesecakes. So I gave her the cheesecakes and she really liked everything. So she accepted my offer and now I sell through her cafe. And it's crazy because now I'm also going to start to work there as a barista.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So many things, so many new people in my life, but I'm so happy because it makes me feel, it makes me feel fulfilled. Could you say that? Anyways, yeah, that's kind of the story of my baking life.
Okay, I have a question about the vegan chocolate. So what milk do you use when you temper it? Do you use like almond milk or what's that?
I use, so you can't use any liquid. Actually, I had a problem with when I was learning. I accidentally spilled some water in there and it's game over.
Yeah.
You can't have a single drop of water or liquid in there. So I use powdered coconut milk.
Interesting.
You could use powdered soy milk, but that's preference. I found that coconut milk makes it more creamy.
Okay. Yeah. I was wondering because I have a friend who works like a vegan cheese company. So she's like told me all about like how like the proteins involved to make it like the texture a specific way. And I was like, I wonder how you make chocolate.
Yeah, it is a process. It is so much more, let's say, harder, not even harder, but it's more detailed than just normal baking because you have to find substitutes and make it taste good.
Most importantly,
vegan, because people are just like, oh, vegan now, probably tastes like plants, which is not true. It tastes awesome, but you gotta make sure you find a way to make it taste good.
Yeah.
Have you watched that documentary on Netflix about like vegan athletes? I forget what it's called, but people that like my teammates and stuff are like, oh, I have a lot of vegans, so they're really into it. I forget what it's called, but I think you would be really interested in it.
I mean, I'm gonna go check it out as soon as I have a chance.
Yeah. So I love your video making pasta and also the Vatrushka.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they look so good. They look so good. And the sour cherry filling, I like my mouth watered looking at that picture. They look delicious.
It is so good.
I'll make sure to tell all my family members in Ontario too.
Yeah, it's the best. There's more like authentic and Ukrainian desserts that I grew up on. And I think I will be doing that soon because I have more time now. But it is awesome. And also it's awesome for Peter because you get to try all these things that I don't think you would. Yeah.
So like what you're seeing, I'm tasting.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
Perfect job.
So good. Pascas, chef's kiss. Really good.
Yeah.
I also like the cake that you made for your sister. I died laughing at it.
Yeah, my family was like, what does this mean? I was like, okay, well, how do I explain this?
Oh my God.
You guys mentioned you guys were watching a little bit of the Tokyo Olympics. What's been your favorite sport so far to kind of watch and take in?
Well, I was gonna say probably the swimming.
Swimming, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Summer Markin. Okay, so we have a friend in Paris.
Mhm.
She, Brooke McIntosh. I hope I'm saying it well.
Yeah, her sister.
Yeah, so incredible. I mean, I've heard about her before from our physiotherapist
Mhm.
a lot, but she is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so
killing it. Yeah.
yeah, I'm in shock, but I'm always in shock. So
Yeah. Swimming at the Olympics is always incredible. I was watching the relay yesterday, and what else was I watching? I also watched.
They're so strong. They're like
Yeah.
they're just inhuman. They're so tall. They're so long. That like arm span. I'm like,
Yeah.
I am a very petite person. So I'm like, I can't even imagine me like standing next to them. How small I would feel.
yeah.
I think personally, because like we both do sports other than skating. If I wasn't a skater, I'd probably be a swimmer as well.
Yeah, you would be swimming. I would be dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would be swimming. I would be dancing. We would never know each other.
Yeah.
I'm a solid 5'4", 5'4", I think. I'm a solid 5'4". And I look at these swimmers and their arms are just like, they're just so long. I'm always so jealous.
Yeah.
They're like genetically gifted. Like they're meant to be swimmers. But yeah. So,
Yeah.
Moving on from the Olympics. So what are some of your favorite figure skating programs from any discipline? I know, Nadiia, you said you don't really watch skating in your free time.
Yeah.
So maybe this question is more for Peter.
Oh, I'm trying to think. I would say
I already have one. I was fast.
Katsalapov's
Swan Lake. I was gonna say the same.
Yes.
So good. So in Russia. Oh, perfect.
I think, I mean, there's a lot of good programs out there. I mean, Tessa Scott, Charlie Merrill.
Yeah.
Oh, Charlie Merritt. Oh my gosh.
There's a lot of programs that are amazing, but I think the one that stands out most is
Charlie Merritt would probably be the second for me. Swan Lake, always the first. I'm a fan of ballet in general.
Yeah.
Amazing ballet dancer.
I'm okay. Stop it. He always says I'm amazing, but I can't.
No, because you are. He's telling the truth. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you're an exceptional ballet dancer.
I mean, I love ballet. That's like the end of story. But as I told you, when we started skating together, I was like, hey, we have to do Swan Lake when we're going to go to Olympics. That's it.
Yes.
I was like, that's it. And I'm very strict with Swan Lake because Swan Lake is very, very hard to execute.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, very little of skaters done it well, and they are the only ones. The only ones.
Yeah. Oh my God. That program is everything to me. Oh my God.
So
the costumes too. Like,
yeah.
Oh my God. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
Absolutely nailed the feeling, like the expression that she had. It was perfect. Exactly what you want to see. Speechless.
So you do watch skating?
I do watch skating.
Not as much as you. Not as much as you, but sometimes it's an occasion.
Yeah. Nadiia, I will send you some of my favorite like ballet performances.
Yes,
I have like a few that, especially like Swan Lake and Giselle and stuff. Like I have a few that I watch on repeat, so I will send you those. But yeah, what was the last thing you two watched in terms of like television, movies?
I have one. Look at me, I'm always the first one. No, that's YouTube videos. We have a guilty obsession with latest, both of us, is watching ASMR before bed, but that's like.
And me too.
Okay. So we don't feel guilty anymore. But it gotta be very specific.
Yeah.
Different taste in that.
The last video.
Yeah, well, no, I personally, the last like TV or anime I watched watching Attack on Titan right
Oh,
now.
nice.
Yeah, so I'm kind of getting there. But if that counts, I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I think. Well, my sort of taste varies. So I'm not really into the anime sort of scene, but like true crime documentaries, sometimes I do 2 weeks of just watching them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nightmares. Well, not nightmares, but sort of like if there's something moves quickly, I'm a bit jumpy. But other than that, I mean, that's what I sometimes go to.
I can't watch documentaries, although I like podcasts.
Forensics.
I like podcasts.
Okay.
Podcasts I love only criminal podcasts or the what do you call those? The conspiracies, theories.
I like the forensic file sort of things, where it's like using science to figure out.
I like those too. We watched that at the cottage. Yeah.
Very, very nice. Also, are you two mukbang ASMR people, or like what type of ASMR are you two into?
I like the soap cutting.
That's okay. That's a good one. I can't with the smacking lip sounds.
Okay.
The eating for us is a big no. No, but we don't discriminate, okay?
Well, everyone makes fun of me. Everyone makes fun of me.
Any ASMR is good. You know, whatever gets you going. Yeah, exactly. For me, it's the table tapping.
Oh, that one's good. That one's good.
Our opening. Hey, you have to share yours.
Mine's sort of more like natural noises, like the rain on glass.
Oh, the sleep noises. Those are good.
This is your line. You haircuts.
Oh, good. The men's barbers are good. Yeah.
I feel like we're playing Truth or Dare right now.
Yeah.
Have you seen those like ASMR videos where they like eat soap and deodorant?
No.
I don't watch them.
Wouldn't that kill you?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
There's like.
Yeah, she eats deodorant and soap. I think she like probably spits it out. I hate that I'm even having this. I'm even saying this in an interview.
There's
a thing to do.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, last question, kind of a downer after that revelation. But what song like gets you hyped for competition that you listen to?
A singular song
or playlist songs plural. I know I have a couple.
We have very different music tastes. That's the one thing that we notice about each other's cultures. So
like cultures. Well, it's the way we grew up.
It's the way we grew up, mostly. So like. I was
but not hype music. Hype music were similar enough.
Yeah. So
it's the music taste.
So what do you listen to?
Well, I have a whole playlist. You know, gotta say the good ones. I like to listen to Maneater.
Yeah.
Yep. I gotta go to that one if I wanna, you know, get into that short dance. Oh, rhythm dance. Womanizer. Oops, I did it again. Toxic.
Yes.
I think
things.
Are you just reading off of my playlist at this point?
Okay. What about you?
So I'm very into my sort of electronic dance music.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those in the UK. You sort of, when you grow up, it's sort of your groups that you have, friends that you hang around, based on what music you listen to. So I was sort of in that sort of dance. Like disco sort of club music, and so anything for me that's got a strong beat and that's sort of bassy, it sort of gets me in the.
But what is your favorite one?
I don't have. Let me check, because there's a few that I tend to listen to.
Yeah.
Where is it?
But personally, like this is my only competition music. I don't ever listen to that at home.
Well, I'll give you artists.
Yeah.
So I listen to a lot of Disclosure, some Oliver Heldens. Oh, the list goes on. A lot of remixes of usual songs. So
those are good. Those are good.
I've
played the like hype TikTok like remixes. Those are the ones I like find them on TikTok and I like save them for myself. They're hype.
Some of the remixes, yeah.
I like some TikTok songs. Some are good.
Like what?
It's a hard question.
Whoa.
What was the address?
You know, anything, what is her name? Doja Cat. She's a very,
Oh yeah,
Yes,
No.
yes.
very TikTok.
that is
but
good.
Yeah.
Doja Cat. What is there? Anything else? Probably no. That's the only one.
Yeah. I also have a quick football question. Peter, did you watch Euro Cup final? What are your thoughts if you did?
I thought that whichever way it was going to go, there was going to be absolute chaos in the UK.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely mayhem, yeah. And I went round to watch it with Molly and Dina, and Molly, who also trains at Aaron. She's from the UK as well, so
Yeah.
we both sort of watched it. And I had the flag on the car with patriotic. But yeah, it was really stressful, you know, going into overtime with penalties.
Mm-hmm.
Story, but I mean, I think what's good is watching sports in general.
Yeah.
So now the Olympics are on. It's even though it's not skating, you know, it sort of gives you a bit of motivation to try new things.
Mm-hmm.
Fun, yeah.
It's fun. I really enjoyed watching it, and now the Olympics are on. It's something else. It's really nice to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the women's gymnastics team final is tonight. So maybe before practice, you two can catch up on the highlights.
Yeah.
Mila trying to convert everyone to watch gymnastics.
Yeah.
I had practice today at 7 a.m. and I was just like awake since 3:30, just like sitting in a dark room watching on my laptop.
You're crazy, girl.
Oh, I know. My dad like woke up at like 4:30. He was like, "Why are you awake?" Because I'm the person who will wake up at like 6:50 and like I'll like get ready in like 5 minutes and like race practice, which is like embarrassing and bad. But today it was like I was up and early, like I had to be awake, so that's what I will be doing tomorrow morning again.
Yeah. No, I'm what you said. I wake up about 10 minutes before I have to leave. And I'm just like, okay, brush my teeth, gotta go.
I'm the same. I am the queen of efficiency. I have it like mapped out to the minute what I need to do. So I only wake up 10 minutes before I need to go.
I mean, we're very different in terms of like how we sleep. That's another one of our many differences. Is like Nadia's one of the sort of, she'll wake up in 5 minutes and be able to walk out the door. I'm one of those that'll have to wake up a good 45 minutes before, sort of wake up mentally.
The thing is, you don't do anything. You just sit.
Yeah. It's because I'm a morning person, which is well, we're very few and far between. But
yeah, I am not a morning person.
Yeah, God, I wish I had that. I wish I had your brain mindset because, dear Lord, I am. It is like embarrassing the way that I can like wake up maybe 1 minute and just like run. Like even like when I was like on campus at college, like there would be times I would wake up like 2 minutes before class and I would just run out the door. And
I think it's a talent. I think it's a talent. I don't think you should.
I agree.
I pride myself in running extremely fast in Doc Martens. So after the Olympic team
is the like double talent.
But yeah, thank you two so much for chatting with us. We had you two are awesome. We had such a pleasure chatting with you.
Yeah, it was great getting to know you better as well.
Yeah, Nadiia, I'm excited to see your baking goods and also post ballet videos, post dance videos.
The people want to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll try. I'll take that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll hold you to it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for asking all these questions. I feel like it's been so long. We've chatted with anybody.
Yeah, for sure.